going to do something a little bit different for this channel, which is to record a video log. And I don't know why I've never done one of these before. Well, maybe I do. I had this predetermined idea of wanting to record a mapped out vision of review videos or an in-depth look at certain stationery items, and the idea of doing an impromptu off-the-cuff video, which I suspect most of my videos really are generally, even though I've got a bit of a vision in my mind, terrifies me, and just speaking off the cuff. And part of the reason I am doing a video log today, I guess, is because for the last couple of months I haven't recorded any videos, and that was somewhat unintentional. I've been going through some considerate, serious, I guess, if you want to put it that way, health issues going on, and still trying to figure out what's going on, but I think I'm on the upswing finally, or at least things are managed. And without getting into all the gory details, which I'm not going to do, I've taken a break from recording videos. Partly because I can't or haven't been able to wake up at 4 a.m. As much as I've wanted to, just owing to the fact that I'm consistently exhausted and needing every amount of sleep, and then the management of all the health stuff that's going on as well, which has challenged my ability to record videos. I generally prefer 4 a.m. because it's the quietest time in my house. The kids aren't around, and it's really hard to find a quiet space where I'm not going to be interrupted, which I suspect I might be in this video as well. With all the health issues going on, one of my consistent refuges and solaces has been very much in stationery and my stationery analog toolkit. When I've been able to sit at a desk, I've been able to enjoy journaling and just really diving deeper with more time into my stationery kit. So that's been really wonderful, and that's exactly what this channel has been about. The other opportunity this time off from the channel has afforded me has been to reach out to a couple of companies that I've been eyeing for a while and request the opportunity to collaborate. So there's a couple of new videos that are going to be posted on this channel, which I'm very, very excited about. One of them was the opportunity to collaborate with Benu Pens, and they're an amazing company out of Europe. I saw some of their pens being featured on the Brian Goulet or the Goulet Pencast. Long story short, Kate at Benu Pens was very kind enough to send me the Tiger's Eye Talisman pen, which I'm going to take a closer and in-depth look. I've had this pen for about a month and a half now, just about, and I'm very excited to show you why it's become my favorite pen from the aesthetic perspective and from the writing experience as well. So I'm very excited to talk about those details. The other opportunity I had here was to reach out to a Canadian leather goods store. They're a store just a hopscotch away from me, relatively. They're over in Nelson, BC, and they're called Popov Leather. And I just fell in love with the look of their products, and they're absolutely gorgeous here. They're really beautiful, amazing Horween leather that comes out of the US, and they make it into some amazing notebook covers, which I've got the opportunity again to collaborate with Ryan Popov there at Popov Leathers. I've had these notebooks for a few weeks now, and I'm really excited to talk about these leather goods. Anytime I get to feature a Canadian shop and feature local, I think is an amazing opportunity, and I want to thank Ryan again for letting me have this opportunity to collaborate and talk in depth about some of his amazing products. So stay tuned for a couple of those new videos. The other thing that I did, which was a little bit blasphemous, I suppose, when it comes to some of the things that I consistently talk about on this channel, was to pick up a Hobonichi A6 Techo planner. And I was intrigued just because so many of my commenters keep telling me to, or have told me to pick this up, and I've consistently talked about how much I love the Traveler's Notebook and their weekly planning system and how it really worked for me. But when I saw one of these come up for a relatively good cheap price online, I couldn't resist. I ended up clicking the buy button, and I've had the opportunity to work with it for about a month now, and this will be sacrilegious, I suppose. I really like it, and I think it fits really well into the planning system that I've developed for myself in a smaller form factor, which I really like, and the fact that it covers the monthly, the daily, and not necessarily the weekly in depth as much as I'd like, but the fact that it's got the monthly and the daily so well covered in a small form factor on Tomoe paper, it really hits the spot for me. Now, you might be wondering, does that get rid of my Traveler's Notebook? Absolutely not. This is still my go-to consistent used item in my stationery toolkit. And I've had the opportunity to incorporate a different refill inside of it, which is the Sketch Notebook. And I've talked about this one in the past. It didn't make my top 3 for 2023 or coming into 2024, but I've reintroduced it just given the change of the planner system. So now I've got the lightweight paper and the sketch paper in here. Now I'm sketching a lot more, which is one of the things I really wanted to do in 2024. With the downtime that I've had with all the stuff that's been going on with me, I've been able to get into sketching, pick up some new skills, and I have one place that I can keep all of that on me and with me. The fact that I just love this leather notebook and its adaptability and flexibility hasn't changed. The only thing I suppose that's different now is that I don't use it for my planning anymore. That's where the Hobonichi A6 has really, I've taken a shine to it, and I think that's going to be what I use a lot more and do a couple more videos on this guy in particular. For those of you out there who are watching this channel and are looking at me stare at the Hobonichi A6, I'd love to get your input on how you do your setups. There's a ton of videos out there, and I'm looking for a minimalist aesthetic. I want to use it as a functional, utilitarian type of notebook. I don't want to get too crazy with elaboration of some of the daily pages that I've seen out there, which I think are fantastic. It's just not my style. I want it to be a fit-for-purpose tool, and what I've done so far I think is very much in line with that, but I'd love to get your thoughts. Let me know in the comment section below, or point me in the right direction of if there's any good minimalist aesthetic planner setups that you think I would like. The ironic thing is I've talked about how I don't enjoy bullet journaling very much. I've tried it out for many years, and I was a very devout follower of the bullet journal methodology. I think this has reintroduced some of the bullet journaling methodology back into my planning system, which I don't mind. I was never totally against bullet journaling. It just wasn't for me. And there's a lot of people out there who swear by bullet journaling. Regardless, elements of bullet journaling have been incorporated back into how I plan my day-to-day and my week and month. And as you can tell, just by the fact that I'm blathering on about the Hobo A6, I really, really like it. There are things that I don't necessarily like, but I'll talk about that in a video that's upcoming. So there you go. That's been a few updates in my life as of recent. Thank you for those who have been concerned and reaching out, and I apologize to those who haven't been responding diligently enough or quickly enough on the YouTube comments there. I do read them, and I try to respond to every single one if I can, or amalgamate responses where I can. Thank you very much. Stay tuned. I have more ambitious ideas of a lot of things I want to take videos of this year and post up. I still have to finish the desk series that I started last year. I thought I'd get that done sooner, but it's just taken a little bit more time for XYZ reasons. I also still want to do a video on what nib size is right for you. And my opinion is there's just a lot of subjectivity in terms of what a nib size means and which one is right for you. I guess a bit of a spoiler alert there really quickly is that when I first started out with fountain pens or any fine writing instrument, I really thought that I was going to be that individual who wanted the super fine lines, the extra fines, the ultra fines. And I quickly realized that my writing style and the use of my writing instruments covers a wide range of different things that I want to do with them. So I have broads, I have mediums, I have fines, and an extra fine in my toolkit. There are consistent nib sizes that I gravitate towards, but there's a lot of variance even in terms of what a medium nib size means, aside from the obvious one of Asian nibs versus Western nibs or European nibs, and just the manufacturer of the nibs and the variance in terms of a consistent line width of medium nib or a fine nib or a bold nib. I do want to talk about that, and I will do that in the future. There was also a request about me doing a in-depth, dedicated planning system digitally, and to talk about the differences between digital and analog. I'm sorry to say that I'm a Luddite when it comes to the digital world. I'm really not good with digital calendars and digital planning systems, mainly because I lose that tactile sensation, but I also forget to check my digital devices as much. I try to shy away from screen time as much as possible. The irony of that statement, of course, is a lot of my job involves a 90% dedication to being in front of the screen. And what works for work in terms of planning, i.e. I've got an Outlook calendar, and that clearly lines up meeting invites and all that fun kind of stuff. I'm that individual that still uses a notebook to plan their day, their week, and all of my to-do activities, even at work. So very much an analog kind of guy. Thanks very much for the suggestion, but just not for me. There you go. I think that's everything in terms of a video log update. I don't know if this is how you do it. Off the cuff, I'm terrified, and thanks very much for watching this and listening to me blather on here, and stay tuned for some more exciting videos. Take care, have a wonderful day, and bye for now.